Good evening and welcome to the Apex Endurance Championship for round number 4 here at the infamous Le Mans. 8 drivers are going to battle it out along this inaugural super event track that's always brought excitement in real Grand Prix races. I will not be riding solo. My co-commentator Sully, or Sullivan, or Risky Racer as he might be known, will be joining us shortly. As qualifying has gotten underway, I'm going to turn my game sign down because this is too loud. There we go. Now you should be able to hear me properly and be able to hear much of the game sound itself. With qualifying underway, with such a long track, it's all about keeping it clean. Hopefully, we'll see a fresh face on pole. Jamie, Whiteout, H Racing Green and Y Racer will be battling it out in the LMP1s with new driver Ayrton Senna, also known as, I think it's David Warbank, with Kyle, Wesley and Massa will be battling out in the GT3s. So I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of this track, also known as Circuit de la Sarthe. Please help me if I've butchered that, I probably have. With a 13.6 kilometre track length, 8.4 miles, we'll be looking at under 4 minutes for the... Under 4 minutes? Easily. Under 4 minutes for the GT3s, just under. For the LMP1s, we'll be looking at possibly 3-minute 50s, I think. Yeah, 3 minutes 30s, maybe. Not too sure, 100%. With it being such a high-speed circuit, 85% of the lap time is spent full throttle. As you can see on the track back in the top right, you can see that huge section of straights with only a couple of chicanes in between them both. And see if we can find some beginning their lap. It's such a long circuit, I think Jamie will be the closest to starting the lap. So if I get a track, I'll be able to tell you your corner names. You have the Porsche curves at the final sectors. Track knowledge is not the greatest, and I don't really want to butcher these names, as all in French. We have our first time on the board then, 3 minute 19, there you go. 3 minute 20s are your LMP1 times, 3 minute 50s will be your GT3s. So Kyle coming towards essentially Porsche curves. And we'll be the first GT3 in the Aston Martin to set a quick lap. keeps it within the track limits there. There's a lot of time, a lot of time you can carry too much speed and run wide and get afflicted with a penalty. I was just making sure that I actually had flicked my mic on, otherwise I'd have been talking to myself for the past 8 minutes. Across the line, I said it'd be a high 150, just under 4, so that's a 3:58 dead. Target time to beat Ayrton Senna, Wesley and Mata. 4:08. 4:08 for Wesley, 4:08.7 for Senna, 4:03.2 for Mata. Risky has left. Why is Risky left? Why is my commentator left? Quiet. Hopefully he can jump back in, because I wouldn't want to do this solo. Oh, what the hell are they doing? It's only qualifying, boys. Leave the racing for the actual race. A special livery for Wesley with a Ziggo. Main sponsor as they go side by side towards the chicane, still side by side, and Wesley has to take avoiding action. So the benchmark for the LMP1s at the moment is 3:19.8. Jamie currently 3 seconds down, with a penalty looming over his head as well. H-Racing Green has a penalty as well. Whiteout and Y-Racer without a penalty, but Y-Racer just coming off from a spin. And currently 10 seconds off his nearest car rival. Little look at the sector splits. Who's got the best sector time? So sector 1 is set by best by Jamie. Sector 2 has its best set by Whiteout. Sector 3 by Whiteout. Sector 4 by Whiteout. And sector 5 by Whiteout as well. You'd wonder, why is Whiteout not a lot closer? More sectors. Sector 6, Jamie has the best sector, and sector 7 at the moment. It says there's no time. Has improved. I believe he has. Nope, still hasn't improved, but he has a decent gap over his rivals of Wesley, who's still next to Senna. And Massa in between both of them. Times set. You probably can tell that this is a different livery compared to last week's race around Monza, a Le Mans special for ILRT Manor, going from the British Racing Green to a white and red as he comes into the pits. Senna sets a quicker time. Well, everyone improved. Kyle did a 3:57.4, then Wesley did better than that with a 3:56. Both Senna and Mata in the pits. Senna making a mistake of exiting rather than driving round, because then he's got a full tank of fuel, unlike Mata, who hasn't refueled. speaking of special liveries, Speed Y Racer is running a Rebellion themed livery with the Speed colours. Oh boy, does it look good. But can it drive good? Oh, as he runs incredibly wide. And that will hamper his lap time. He was up on his best, going deep into that corner. There's nothing that benefits him too much. So as you, here we go, this is better. The English track. So turn 1, which is the fast right-hander off the start, the Dunlop curve, and then after that you have the Dunlop chicane. Then you have the run round Tetra Rouge onto the straights. And then after 3 straights, you get to Muslinine. Watching this so hard. And then you got Indianapolis, Arnage, Porsche curves, and the Corvette cores, and then the Ford chicanes, which I think are personally are my worst corners on this track. Risky Race having a bit of a technical difficulties. He's currently got the blue screen of death, and hopefully he joins us later. Just look at that bit of paintwork that's been scraped off on that front right as he goes into the chicanes. So with these chicanes down the main straight, you have a right left chicane, then you have a left right chicane straight after. Right, so let's H Racing Green through. On the looks of things, no special livery for this week, but it still looks good either way. He's got to find 4 tenths. He wants to take pole position away from ILT Jamie. With this being such a long circuit, he's 3.04 tenths up on this lap, and that is classed as being purple. Still purple, but only 2.5 tenths up. He needs 4, but purple in both of these at the moment. And we'll see if I can get some pronunciation on these corners, otherwise I'm going to be rinsed with my pronunciation. Still purple, 3.09. Now he was going to run down towards the Porsche curves, I think. Or maybe not. It's weird looking at this track in a spectator view compared to driving, because you get a different point of view. Into the Porsche curves, I was correct. Nice. It's 6 tenths up. So we could see H Racing Green knock ILRT Jamie off pole position. Where is Jamie on circuit? And the run down to the first chicane on the main straight, main back straight. So he comes then into the Ford chicanes. Out the 4 chicanes, 9:19.8 to beat. A 1:18.9 is set. 8 tenths quicker than ILOC Jamie. He will see that and he will need to push. He's purple, 4 tenths up. Needs to find 8.5. But we saw with H Racing Green, he was down compared to overall lap time, but it was still purple. There you go, 7 tenths purple. 8.5 tenths to find. 43 seconds to go. This will be his final run. H Racing Green will probably be on his final run as well. Jamie on a final run. I've just looked at the clock. Whiteout final run. YSO is just starting his final run now. Wesley will be ever so tightly towards the line, but I think this could be his final run as he runs through the Porsche curves. Kyle, 3:24 with 23 seconds to go. I don't think that's enough time. Neither of these two, I don't think, are going to make it across the line, so these are their final laps. Massa is on his final lap as well, but he has a penalty. He's 2 seconds up on his time, but with a 4-second penalty, it's not looking good for him. And Ayrton Senna is in the pits. So H Racing Green, can he defend it? But Jamie is coming round the Porsche curves, 9 tenths up. Kyle does cross the line, set a new personal best of 3 minute 56.4, puts him not on pole though. Wesley still with the quickest time with what seems to be a 55. But Jamie coming through the forward curves and up towards the line. Can he take pole position from H Racing Green? He does indeed, with 9/10 improvement. Well, actually, on his own, it was a 1.7 second improvement on himself. 9/10 quicker than H Racing Green. H Racing Green is on his final run. Whiteout on his final run as well. H Racing Green going through the Porsche curves. He's 7 tenths up, but he needs 9 tenths to take pole. Into the Ford chicanes he goes. Ten seconds left of the lap. Chucks it in as quick as he dares. Quick as he dares through the Ford chicanes towards the line. Is it enough? It's not enough to take pole, but 2 tenths, 0.165 separates them. What can Whiteout do? Can he take second away from H Racing Green? Or will he just settle down with 3rd place? Into the Ford chicanes. Up to the line. He improves by 3 tenths, but stays in 3rd. Y-Racer on his final lap. And the final LMP1 on track. Everyone else has set their final times. He needs to find 13.5 second improvement to take pole, a 10.9 second improvement to take P3. He's only 2.8 seconds up on his time with these slowdown penalties. He looks like he's set for 4th place here at Le Mans. Into the forward curves towards the line. A time improvement of 6 seconds, which means he made a massive mistake on his quickest previous time. There we have our grid. AEC has got some huge technical difficulties, so he won't be able to join us for the start of this race. But with it being such now on a half-long race, hopefully he can join later on. Jamie from H Racing Green, from Whiteout, from Y Racer are your LMP1s. Wesley, Kyle and Matt are your GT3s. No Ayrton Senna as he left the session just after qualifying. 2, 1, and we're green for racing here at Le Mans. Oh, it's who's gone spinning in the background. Wesley's got off to a horrific start, lost the rear on the green lights, and is all the way last and starting on pole. So it's Jamie from H Racing Green through the Dunlop curves towards the end of the first sector. Whiteout already with a penalty with Y Racer on his back, but H Racing Green might be looking for a move on the inside into this fast right-hander, whereas if you track extend you will get a penalty. Now down this long back straight, if you're in the slipstream you are game, but you can see that penalty for H Racing Green with that little bit of an extension. Side by side they go. What can Y Racer do as Whiteout has a penalty? Here they go then, side by side, IoT Jamie and H Racing Green down the first main straight towards the first chicane. H Racing Green will have the inside, onto the brakes they go, and H Racing Green has the lead for now. Jamie on the back of him with Whiteout in that slipstream, and Y Racer just took it in behind them, wanted to stay with these boys. The slipstream is just so key. Here he comes, Jamie then, down the second straight. He'll have the outside, but what is that overspeed from Whiteout? He storms into the leads, into the second chicane. And H Racing Green hangs on to P2 with Jamie in third, Y Racer in fourth. Anybody's game in this if they manage to stay together for the whole of the race. So Whiteout is your leader from H Racing Green, Jamie and Y Racer. At the back you have Kyle with a decent gap to Maddo, and Maddo now under pressure. Or Maddo was overtaken by Wesley in sixth and Maddo behind. So back to the leaders. Whiteout manages to hold on down that final section of straight with H Racing Green in slipstream. You've got Jamie behind him with Y Racer keeping in touch. I think Whiteout's got a decent enough gap to hold on to this, and H Racing Green stays in formation ahead of Jamie with a little bit of a tank slapper on the exit of that corner for H Racing Green. Oh, Y Race has gone very deep, and that could be race over for him. On the first lap, he is going to be riding solo for the rest of this, unless there is a coming together between the rest of these. But with the slipstream being so powerful, they're more than likely going to be pulling away. Into the Porsche curves for the first time. Whiteout, H Racing Green and Jamie. And then into the Corvette curbs. Does anybody run wide? H Racing Green stays it clean. Jamie ran a little bit wide, I believe, but will there be a move from H Racing Green into the Ford chicanes? Not this time around. We'll want to keep it nice and clean as we come to the end of lap 1. 3 minute 25 is your benchmark. H Racing Green into the slipstream, through the Dunlop curve they go. Will H Racing Green be looking for a move towards the Dunlop chicane? Not this time. Might be a penalty looming on either of them. Jamie just biding his time. As long as he stays in that slipstream, he should be fine. Now the run up through the S's onto a straight. Hunadiers, I think is the name of the straights. The Hunadier straights. Those Toyotas, I don't think I've got the straight line speed compared to the Audi. And Whiteout is still in first place. But this could be a a method of saving fuel, because a full tank in these cars will only give you 5 laps, or maybe sometimes like that, 4 or 5 laps if you run full mixture. So when you're in the slipstream, you can save some fuel. And in Jamie's books, why does he need to fight? Let's say H-Racing Greens get slapped with a half-second penalty. So Whiteout then, pulling away. That straight line speed of the Audi is coming in clutch. He got the move done and is leading his way. No mistakes yet from him, as Jamie doesn't look like he's going to make a move on the inside of H-Racing Green. Now down towards Indianapolis. H-Racing Green looking very feisty on the back of Whiteout towards Indianapolis. Will he go for a move? That straight line speed of the Audi is still keeping him there as they break into an Indianapolis and up towards Carnage. Now, what can H-Racing Green do now on the run towards the Porsche curves? Gets out the slipstream and goes side by side with Whiteout, puts the fuel mixture probably up to get that extra power pumping in that hybrid engine. And they go side by side in the Porsche curves, but what a move from H-Racing Green, takes the lead from Whiteout. It's been a while since he's been in the lead. Whiteout was managing to hang on, and could this be the turning point in this race where, now that Whiteout has lost the lead, H-Racing Green can pull away, but don't knock out Jamie either. It could have been a fuel saving strategy from the Apex boy. As Whiskey has returned, he seems to have fixed the issue. But is he speaking? He's speaking! He is here. I see you got it fixed.
Just about.
You're lagging a little bit on your end.
Yay!
Yeah, he sounds like Optimus Prime. Excellent. Lap 3 then. H-Racing Green has managed to pull a little bit of a gap, with Whiteout now under threat from ILRT Jamie. RS now running his own race in 4th. To the GT3s you have Wesley now ahead of Kyle, with a little bit of a penalty looming on him after that mistake from Wesley. He's now showing the straight line speed and pace that Nissan has. He's back into the lead, with Matter dropping off the pace a little bit with quite a lot of penalties, so hopefully you can get rid of them before the end of the race. And Wesley's left. Why has Wesley left? Matter, I saw that. I don't know what you're doing, but now you're going into the pits. Whiteout retakes the lead with that straight line speed of the Audi. H-Racing Green back down to P2, with ILRT Jamie getting to pounce yet. Getting to pounce yet. Some great English from me.
An interesting battle for the lead then.
It is. It would have been a 4-way scrap, but on the first lap Yuri went very deep into one of the corners and lost the slipstream, and has now fallen away.
That's unfortunate for Yuri.
It is indeed.
Only 2 GT recalls from that now.
Yeah. Ayrton Senna left just at the end of qualifying, and now Wesley has somehow had a disconnection after leading the GT3s, after having to spin at the very start, dropping back to the back of the field and then retaking the lead at lap 3. Not too sure how many laps we will get. As H-Racing Green was looking on the inside, Wesley's back, but I don't think he'll help him getting back in the car. It's not like Formula 1 where if you leave you can rejoin. I think once you're out, you're out. Oh, as Whiteout is slow through the Porsche curves, H Racing Green is looking to pounce. A little bit of lag on my end from what I can see.
H Racing Green got a penalty coming out of that corner. I'm not good record on H LMP1. I'm F1 commentator, not a GT Sport commentator, but I learn as we go.
Yeah, they're the, I believe they're the Corvette. Okay, let me just get my track map up.
Oh. H Racing Green right on the back of. That's how on my screen. Matt was first.
Matt was what?
First, apparently Matt was part. Yeah. Apparently.
Oh, side by side, up towards the Dunlop curves. H Racing Green has had to take an escape mode. Comes back on track. Luckily, it goes similarly. Instead of going from up to P1, he's now back down to P3. But he's not too far behind, and I'm sure he'll be able to recover. Jamie now getting the chance to pounce on Whiteout. I'm not too sure whether you were watching or listening, Risky, but that Audi that Whiteout is driving, it's got such a powerful straight line speed compared to these Toyotas.
You can just see it now without, because we're coming up to the first chicane. The only way that Toyotas can catch is in the slipstream.
And it can be under the brakes as well, I would say would be a very beneficial. But here we go then, Jamie now has a chance after a stronger exit. Slipstream, probably recommend using a bit more fuel to help overtake, but as they run towards the second chicane, Whiteout looks like he might hang on once again. With H Racing Green now trying to drag himself back into it. This could be Jamie's chance.
Well, again, we see Whiteout pull away. Oh, Jamie and H Racing Green both look a little bit more stable on the brakes.
Do, and they're better on the exit of corners as well.
All three drivers getting nice exits. Whiteout just having that edge out in front. H Racing Green's now left the room.
He's gone as well. Wait, what? Has he? Not on my screen.
Oh, he's gone for me. He's disappeared.
On my screen, he's still here. Luckily for me then, because I'm streaming.
Maybe I'm not in the room. Secretly, I'm just not there.
Maybe you're not. Who knows? You are lagging in chat, so.
Yeah, I'm lagging significantly everywhere.
It's a good job you're not racing, otherwise you'd be probably up with the aeroplanes if you were racing.
Very much so.
Into the Ford chicane to end lap 4. And nothing can separate these three except for 1.1 seconds. Who will be first to blink as the sun sets here in France? Into the Dunlop chicane towards the S's. But here comes Jamie. We'll go down this straight to the chicane. He backs out last minute, and Whiteout somehow still hangs on. Jamie lipping back into the slipstream of Whiteout, and H Racing Green now right on the back of all of these into the slipstream. Goes H-Racing Green on Whiteout. Jamie thought he got a better exit to try and go side by side. Whiteout now has got to defend, but not from one, but two Toyotas on the run down into the second chicane. But Whiteout will probably come back at him with the slipstream and that straight line speed. What can Jamie do? He's not really been leading any of this race. He's just been sitting back and watching the battle unfold in front. In towards Mulsaney, however you pronounce it. H-Racing Green from Whiteout from Jamie. YRA's 40 seconds behind, with probably a pit stop in the bag for him. Jamie through! Where's Whiteout gone? He's still there. Whiteout is through. No, Whiteout's through. Jamie is through on Whiteout, and after starting this lap in first, he's now down to third. Back a little bit. Although the gap is now starting to form between all three of these, and there's huge lag on my screen, and this is great. So after being separated by 1 second, they're now, each car is separated from each other by a second. Into the Dunlop curves. Being such long straights, this don't count Whiteout out. He's got such excellent straight line speed. Admit being out of the slipstream. As Batter gets out of the way, just about. There's no intention for him to get out of the way. When you're coming up to a section of the track like that, it's going to be very difficult for LMP1s to get by the GT3. It's 1 second penalty slapped to ILOC Jamie. As up ahead, you can see the other GT3s, but you can see that straight line speed of Whiteout just catching back up to them late onto the brakes, and it's now got that gap from about 1.9 at the start of the lap down to under a second. But his exit's not always the greatest, but straight line speed can bring him back into this. The two Toyotas need to start working together, dragging each other back in, and dragging Jamie in is what H-Racing Green is doing. Didn't even realise Risky left and now back in. Yeah, it's not liking your voice either. You sound like bloody Johnny 5.
Oh, big back.
B-Tech Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now they're catching up to Kyle in 5th. With it being so many long straights on this track, they can just overtake these GT3s very easily. But what Kyle is probably not expecting, all three of them to be right next to each other and within 2-3 tenths of each other. What can Jamie do on H-Racing Green? He's gone up the inside of Jamie. Whiteout makes it 3 wide in towards Indianapolis. H-Racing Green hangs on. Whiteout gets through on Jamie. And it's all kicking off, but no contact between any of them, which is what we want to see. Whiteout is on the grass there and might be susceptible to an overtake from Jamie. And here he goes then. Jamie will have the outside but the inside into the first Porsche curve. They're still side by side. Then Whiteout might let this one go because you don't really want to go side by side through the Porsche curves. If you do have the inside, you're more susceptible to be forcing the driver off the track who's on the outside. And with these two battling, H-Racing Green is starting to pull away, but we know what can happen if the two behind start to work together. when we'll see some pit stops, I'd really like to, if it was possible, be able to see what fuel everyone is on. It gives us a little bit more detail to when drivers are more likely going to pit rather than just hopping in. But as we know, these three are going to have to do at least one more lap, and that's the lap we're on now. And we won't see any more overtakes. The gap has started to increase between them all. Probably a little bit. Oh, that's 7.1 second time penalty for H Racing Green. From out of nowhere. What is that for? Did he decide to straight line the bloody Dunlop curves? Dunlop chicane? Or however you want to bloody call it? Jesus. Or did he straight line? What's it called? After the S's.
That's a big penalty to say that he's still in that post.
Tetra Rouge. Tetra Rouge is the name of the corner that you can try and go flat out on the right hander. But if you track instead, as Y Racer is in the pits, set of softs for him. Did he put fuel in? Who knows? I'd hope so, because he only had 7%.
I think I'm back.
You're a little bit like Optimus Run, but that's right.
So I have to do, I'll just not do much talking.
Much talking. Anyway, towards Musliny. I will get this name right. Musliny. I think it's what it says on here. Musliny. Now the run down towards Indianapolis. They're now back within a second. All three of them. Whiteout has managed to catch himself back up as they run towards Indianapolis. This time last lap, they were trying to run 3 by 3, side by side, 3 wide, but single file for now into I need to stop. Is that
Whiteout?
Whiteout is off. He's lost it on the curb. That could be the end of this battle for him. All it takes is one mistake, and that could be game over. However, the straight line speed of that Audi could bring him back into it, but the gap is 5.5 and ever increasing between himself and Jamie, so it could be a 1v1 for this win. And we've seen what happens in a 1v1 between these two. H Racing Green tends to lag out. We don't want that. What is H Racing Green going to do about that 7-second penalty? That's a lot of time to get rid of and not lose time to the driver who's chasing you. For you to remove penalties, you need to be off the accelerator and going slower than the optimal speed into every corner or straight.
You expect our Jamie to close in on H Racing Green a little bit more, but
it could be a case of fuel mixtures, I think.
Well, it is coming now towards the first chicane of this section. A little bit earlier on the brakes, I think. Jamie was than usual, but I think it's just two Toyotas just happy out in front.
Yeah.
On two now where they haven't got the pressure of Whiteout, who's dropped 6.5 seconds back.
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether he's going to be able to catch up. As you can see on the straight, the gap between Jamie and Whiteout is coming down by the very thousandths of a second. But that is not going to be enough when half of this section, half of this track is straight, half of it is corners, and I believe that the Toyotas are a little bit better in the corners compared to the straight.
And Kyle, I don't know if he was by Matter, but when I saw him, Kyle was way ahead Matter. Kyle has now dropped behind Matter. I wonder if that's after both pit stops for drivers. Is why racer coming through.
I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure Kyle has definitely pitted. I don't see how he would have lost that much time without pitting, considering his last lap was a 3:56, and Matters was a 4:02.
So we might see a battle of the GT3s then.
Hang on, Jamie and H-Racing Green are going side by side in the Porsche. Is that the Porsche Curves? No, it's not. It's at Indianapolis. And Jamie's still on H-Racing Green, but H-Racing Green is fighting back. As he go up the inside, he goes, but doesn't get the move done. And is slowly got a little bit of that time penalty. But gives Jamie the lead. And Whiteout is in the background. 5.9 seconds to gap. He's in the background.
And he knows. He knows exactly what's going to happen. If these two continue to fight, everything, all three drivers know it, but we'll see how selfish these two drivers out in front get. Because H-Racing will still want that lead back.
He will, and he'll definitely want a victory when he's been robbed quite a few times due to internet issues. And he runs a little bit wide through the exit of the Corvette chicane. Corvette curves, I think it's Corvette curves, and into the Ford chicane, and has got a slapped another half a second time penalty.
Oh, H-Racing Green coming out of the chicane is a bit too happy as Whiteout pits.
Whiteout pits, he's got 1% of fuel, so he was probably pushing after making that mistake to try and catch up, and he'll probably now try and undercut where he could burn a little bit more fuel.
Mitch, these guys must be getting to that stage where a pit stop is inevitable within
changing tyres. A lot, probably a full tank. I would say a full tank of fuel, most definitely. Fuels were likely to run out compared to tyres on this track, and I believe 100%.
LT Jamie's just gone 2/10 up nearly on his fast turn. Whereas H-Racing really got a little bit messy coming out onto the straight and doing
now that Jamie has taken the lead, he is going to push. As you can see on my right hand side, you can see his lap times, and I can see fuel. Oh, that's interesting. I can see how much fuel he's got. I can see what his tyre wear's like. He has an 1/8 of a tank of fuel. H-Racing Green has less fuel, and the tyre wear is a lot better on Jamie's car.
I don't know how you've seen this, but okay.
I don't know how I was seeing it as well. I don't know why Wesley's... What is this doing? Is this changing darkness and lightness? I'm pressing L1 and R1. Yeah, I was seeing it, but I don't know how I was seeing it. But we know that Jamie's got a little bit more fuel to play with in this final stint. Oh, I want it back now that it was there. Maybe if I don't touch anything.
Oh, press circle.
Yeah! There we go.
How did we not know that was a thing?
Yeah. Now we can tell you what tyres and fuel is looking like.
So H-Racing Green's fuel is very little.
I think both of them are going to be in the pits this lap, just based on Jamie's length of fuel and where they are on track. They might as well both pit. Whiteout is 39 seconds behind H-Racing Green and 4.1 behind Jamie, 41.2 behind Jamie.
We're going to see Kyle on the back line of the Massa now as we switch to the GT3 now. He's going to come up to the inside. Massa is defending. Kyle makes a quick change to what is going to be the outside.
Oh, it's the brake late. Both of them brake late into the chicane, and Whiteout.
Whiteout comes up.
It's not Whiteout, it's Kyle.
You've confused me. Kyle got the good run, but Massa has a better exit, and Massa's now going to come back in that Porsche.
Which straight line speed is not really there, but he's got it. Got ahead, but Whiteout. I'm confusing myself now between Kyle and Whiteout. Kyle back in the slipstream, On the run down to the second chicane. Can Kyle make it 2 out of 2 for overtakes into the chicane?
No.
He switches from the left, switches to the right.
Looks to the
And
inside, he just couldn't get it done.
Massa holds on once again. As Jamie and HSC Green both coming into the pits. Jamie, I notice, is on softs. HSC Green is on supers.
HSC Green wants that victory. I don't know if Whiteout made a mistake or if he actually dropped, but he's now 11, 12, 13 seconds back, so he's dropped a little bit further back than maybe you would want to.
I think that could be true. Just because you've got the fresh tyres on, you've got a heavier tank of fuel, which makes you a little bit more sluggish in the corners.
Yeah, maybe actually. White Racers 1 minute 13 behind, just chilling.
Yeah, in a world of his own, and going to get points. As we go for the battle for the GT3s, Matta and Kyle side by side once again on the run down towards Indianapolis. Matta is defending the inside, but then it goes to the outside. Oh, there's contact between the two of them. Oh, that's very dirty from Kyle there.
He's waiting up for him.
Whether it was intentional, which you can see, he got slapped a penalty for it, which was just served, and a very gentlemanly of Kyle for letting him back through.
Matta stuck his hazards on to thank Kyle for letting him back through, so this battle will commence, because there's really no point in Kyle carrying on with that penalty anyway.
Yeah, what would be the point? Why not just put a show on for us, put a show on for the audience, as they look like they're going to try and go side by side into Porsche curves. Matta hangs on, but Kyle's going to try and go on the outside. Does he? He doesn't this time around, then towards the Corvette curves. Matta still ahead as they run towards the 40k.
I've noticed as well that Kyle has a significant amount more fuel than Matta. We might see Matta pit on this lap.
Yep, and he does.
Which we do.
Yeah, I think Matta pitted really early on. I think I remember seeing him pit really early on.
It's could be an interesting strategy though, because if he can keep that car going.
We're 9 laps in. Well, we're on the 9th lap.
56
we have
minutes.
56 minutes to go. And we have the 2 Toyotas leading. Whiteout is slowly making inroads, but at the cost of his energy depletion in that battery, and probably a little bit more fuel than he would have hoped. Tyre wear I don't think will be an issue, and H-Racing Green has been slapped with another 7-second penalty. Don't know what for this time, as they're running through the Porsche curves. He has gained a half a second on Jamie. That could be justice for the 7-second penalty, but half a second gives you some. If you gain half a second, you get slapped with a penalty that's 14 times quicker. I don't think that's how it works. But you can tell the gap between Whiteout and H-Racing Green has increased, and probably why the penalty is there. Lap 11 of, I wasn't going to work it out. Take a lap off, 10 laps per half an hour, give or take. 9-10 laps. We could probably see 27
penalty.
27 laps.
H-Racing Green is still gaining on Jamie, slowly, little by little. That slipstream is how.
Yeah, I think the slipstream takes into effect if you're between obviously 0 and 1.5 seconds behind, and you can see the significance of it as the gap now under a second. But a little bit of a sloppy exit for H-Racing Green. Can he drag it back down under a second? He can indeed. Slipstream. It'd be good if we could have seen what fuel mode doing.
Right, just like a little off. He's back up to speed now.
As he hits the wall
Just
through the Porsche curves.
yeah,
Kyle
just before the Porsche
and
comes,
Mata.
yeah.
Kyle and Mata 24 seconds. Kyle with a load more fuel.
It's come
Mata
down
already.
significantly.
Did Mata put 100% fuel in? Because he's already nearly burnt off a quarter of his tank.
That's a good question.
Tage Racing Green now right on the back.
Wire Race going for a bit of a spin.
360 in the gravel.
In the gravel.
Down towards the start finish line. Who are these boys in comparison? They're going to run towards Indianapolis. They're coming up to a little bit of traffic. I believe that is Kyle. H Racing Green on the back of Jamie. Is it Kyle? It's got to be Kyle. It's no one else.
Yeah, it will be. No, it's Mata. Starting Mata. Mata's pit, ain't he?
Oh, it's Whiteout who's the car behind. Nah, never mind. I was just wondering who the car behind of these two were, but that's Whiteout. They're coming up to Mata, then towards the Porsche curves. Not where you want to be catching the car, as these guys got a lot more downforce. Oh, as Jamie's gone very wide and hits the wall and through the Porsche curves, gives H Racing Green the lead.
I was just going to say,
another penalty against.
Oh,
and Mata not giving any room to H Racing Green.
I was just going to say that
Kyle is in the pits. Jamie is gone.
Jamie does better on corners than H Racing Green, but that doesn't really matter anymore. That's all that matter.
Yeah.
It's Kyle pits.
And he's now behind Mata. Mata must have underfueled his car. And Kyle comes out ahead of Mata. Wait, what?
Just about, yeah, by a significant amount. Kyle fully fueled. I wonder if that incident that Mata had
has cost him, yeah. Has cost him about 5 seconds.
Green will be furious.
He will be.
Whiteout is now just behind him as well.
Yep. And Mata is still in front of H Racing Green as they come into the S's. And Mata's still there. The blue flags are not in order, and Mata does not have to let him through. However, it's a gentlemanly rule for you to let the other driver through. As H Racing Green now on the back of Kyle, gets a little bit of slipstream, overtakes him very easily. Whiteout through on the Porsche of Mata, and what can Mata do? He's got that gap down to 2.7. Oh, a little bit loose on the curbing now and exit that chicane, and gets slapped with a penalty. Jamie, if you can hear me, slow down. Let H Racing Green catch up, let Whiteout catch up, and let us have a battle.
Still going to get some racing. Mata versus Kyle, that gap is closed. Whiteout versus H Racing Green in that battle.
Oh, bloody hell, that gap has closed. Kyle must have made a mistake, because that was, when I moved away, that was 2.4. It's now under a second.
Mata is closing.
Mata is closing, but Kyle is not burning a lot of fuel. Mata is probably burning the fuel. It's to go towards Indianapolis. No, it's not Indianapolis. That's my bad.
Oh, that back end of the Aston was all over the place.
Trying to get your words out there, Sully.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of talking issues.
Yeah, and it sounds like it as well. But here we go then. Mata and Kyle within 2/10. If I was Mata, now that you've caught back up into the slipstream, start saving some fuel, buddy, because you've got to have to pit again. Kyle, on the other hand, will do, but we'll be more efficient on. We'll have a quicker pit stop in the final stint. That's what I should say. So start saving fuel, Matter. Matter, can you hear me? Save fuel.
I don't think he will. I think he will just go for it. Because just remember, this is the fight for first place in the GT3 class. This is the fight for the most points. So
Yeah, but if Matter wants to lead, Matter being in the slipstream now can English? Can I English? Of course. If he wants to try and match the pit stop window for Kyle, then he might as well save fuel. That is very wide. That is going to be at least a 2-second penalty. You'd think. You'd think. Let's have a look. Oh, it's only half a second. Half a second for that. Oh, that's a nice corner cut through the Porsche.
I've got it all wrong though.
Through the Ford chicane. That's another second added onto that. As we head towards the Dunlop curve.
Why racer? Why racer go for a spin of just that? Oh, he's kept it going. That was impressive from Y Racer.
I don't know how he spun it there.
Oh, car got reset. Car's been reset.
The car try and corner cut, you dirty bastard.
He's going slowly, when I flicked over to him, he was very slow. And then all of a sudden he's been reset.
Unless Massa punted him into the Dunlop chicane, there was a cheeky corner cut attempt from Kyle, and it's been reset, and is now 4.5 seconds behind. I'd say advantage Matter.
Jamie is losing time to Racing Green, which is expected. LT Whiteout just sort of sticking around that same spot because he loses a little bit of time in the final sector in the Porsche curves and the Ford chicane. My race just having the time of his life, spinning round and round.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. Oh. What's that song? I'm spinning up, get out of my way.
Perfect.
Because you like it like this.
Gonna get overtaken, you think?
He's gonna get laps, never mind overtaken.
I was gonna say, that gap to the lead is coming down slowly by slowly. It does, it still has a penalty, but...
To be fair, what Jamie can do now, he's got such a huge advantage. You just stick it in lead. There's no point to burn fuel. Stick it in lead, and then by the time these boys catch up, stick it back into power mode, full power mode, and away you go. Because you can see, HJC can just about see Jamie when they go around that section of corners into up towards before the Porsche curves.
If HJC Green makes a little mistake though, Whiteout is going to be right behind him.
He is indeed. Don't forget that 7.4 seconds worth of penalty on HJC Green shoulders.
The sheer speed
as he runs wide
cars.
On the exit of the Corvette curves, that should be half a second, it normally is. Does he get lucky? I think he has, and towards the Ford chicane, or Ford chicanes, because there's two of them. And that red sausage curve on the inside of the final corner is a little bit ropey, as he sets his personal best of a 120.3.
The gap is now 3. The gap starts to come down again, but HJC Green is chasing Jamie.
Yeah.
HJC Green wants this victory, and Whiteout is just chilling on the edge. White Racer pits for softs. And Kyle's got back up.
Super soft on White Racer's got. Just looking at lap times, Jamie's last lap has HJC Green set his personal best of a 3:20. 3:20.2. Jamie's was a 3:22.2. So that was 2 seconds that HJC Green has caught up, and this could be even more time. The last two laps set by HJC Green were 3:20s. Last two laps set by Jamie, 3:22s. I think Jamie's listened, but what Jamie is doing is saving fuel. Look at the fuel. Jamie's got just over half, but so is HJC Green. Whiteout though, about 3/8 of the tank, just under 3/8 of the tank. But you can see all three of them are all within viewing distance down these long straights. As H Racing Green is going quicker himself. We could set a 19 here. And you can see why the gap is coming down.
The GT3 battle still on, right behind each other.
Oh, that gap's closed up. To say it was 4.5. Let's have a look at some fuel. Carl's burned a little bit more than just to catch that gap back up. Now the battle is on.
I think we'll see Kyle so past here unless Massa can defend into the braking zone. I think Kyle might already be past by the time we see that, although it's close.
The Porsche's coming back. His nose is in. His whole car's in. And he's up the inside into the braking zone of the chicane. They still side by side. And does Kyle defend? Mata has to almost take a avoiding action. But Mata is through with a better run through the final part of the chicane.
Kyle's not done yet though. Kyle will come up against Mata. Round the outside.
This will be the inside. This will be for the inside of the next chicane. But it isn't the racing line.
I see Mata just dropping that a little bit back, further back. Is he going to give it to him? Is he going to level it? No, he's late braking. Kyle gets the move on, but Mata might get a better run and does so. On the outside, can he get his car there? He gets his car there nicely. So there we go then.
The position.
Side by side. Once again.
Nothing is separating these two. 0.02425 is separating these two drivers. Thousands of a second as they run into Buzane. And the Porsche takes the lead. I think we should have a... You keep an eye on this, or should I? Actually, I'm going to keep an eye on this. You switch.
Car's coming back. I don't see Massa.
Carl has the inside, and will keep the inside towards Indianapolis, but it goes from a fast right-hander into a left-hander, and that will benefit Mata.
Kyle just edging out in front. Okay, yeah, he has his switch to the left-hand side.
Mata gets rid of his penalty, very sensible. And into Indianapolis they go. Right, now that they've calmed down a little bit.
That's a white race off again.
Go back to the leaders, and the gap between Jamie and H Racing Green 3.1. 6 seconds separate the top three as they all run down the middle straight.
Or Matter's getting closer and closer to Kyle again. I don't think we'll see him move, but he's had a very good run indeed. No, doesn't thinks about it, but just doesn't slip it down the inside.
Into his own curves. Driving the Porsche. Through the Corvette curves and then up towards the Ford chicanes. Can Carl get a better exit? Oh, he doesn't! I nearly jinxed him there. Mata slips himself back into the slipstream, up through the Dunlop curve towards the Dunlop chicane. Last time they were in this close towards the chicane, Cole ended up cutting the corner and losing 5 seconds. But no, Carl is this time.
Well,
Carl hangs on to the position.
Has a poor run. Kyle was out of the Dunlop chicane. Mata managed to slip through, around the outside.
It's close
contact
between
made.
two of them into the
It's
S's.
close. They're still side by side.
Does Mata hanging on for this? He's going to have the inside into this fast right-hander and retakes the lead. This is breathtaking stuff.
The gap out in the front is come down to 2.3. So this is going to get interesting. Racing Green still has that penalty, but he is still pushing. His fuel is only just marginally lower.
TV's about to turn off. We don't want any of that.
And Sire is similar. So
Yeah, I
we'll
think advantage Jamie on that by just a little bit on those front tyres. Mainly because Jamie is on those softs and Racing Green is on those supers. That could be beneficial for the for how and why Racing Green is catching up. Lap times have been very consistent for Racing Green. The past 4 laps have been 3-minute 20s, whereas Jamie has been doing 3-minute 22s, and then the previous lap was a 3-minute 21.5. So the gap is still closing down, and the gap is under 2 seconds.
Couple of tenths since the slipstream starts to benefit Green.
Side by side with Mata and Kyle as they go through the second chicane and on the straights, and Mata hangs on again.
But for how long is he going to hang on? Because here comes Kyle again. It's going to be tight. The brakies are once again, these two putting on an exceptional show. Down the inside there, Kyle goes. Brakes later than Mata does. Mata just sitting back, hoping Kyle will make a mistake, which we've seen a couple of.
We've got a better exit, I think, there in the Porsche.
He did. The gap out in front is now 1 second just over. So this is going to get interesting on the next lap, you'd imagine.
Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on this battle in the GT3s. Mata is forced to the outside, but it will turn to the inside for Indianapolis as they head towards this section of corners. Mata's done what he did previously, tucks back in and doesn't dare go side by side into Indianapolis. And
that's a smart drive there. Smart, man.
We'll go to the lead. Racing Green is caught up, and it's less than a second between the two of them. But look at the size of that penalty on Racing Green's car. 8.6. I don't know how you're going to get rid of that. But we just want to see a battle.
I'll keep you updated with the GT3 situation for now. Mata is just sat behind Carl, not quite close to make a move into the Porsche curves.
These boys are starting to catch up with them. They've just gone through Indianapolis. And now we'll be heading their run down towards the Porsche curves. Whiteout's not out of it just yet. It might be a little bit too far back just for now. But between these two, there is 5 tenths. I didn't think Racing Green would have seen the rear end of Jamie's car at all. Oh, he went a little bit wide on the exit of the first Porsche curves.
Oh, both drivers hit the wall.
And then into the Corvette curves, and has now got 9 seconds worth of penalties. That's Kyle in the pits.
So Carl's going for the undercut, which wasn't expected, because he has fuel. Has a lot of fuel.
His tyres weren't too bad either. What tyres is he going on? I would say super softs, as there are 35 minutes to go. It could be softs. No, there's still 35 minutes to go. That's still quite a while. That's still 8 laps. And 8 laps around this track is a long time. 100% fuel, soft tyres on. And Jamie and
Whiteout pits.
Racing Green are through. And Whiteout.
Let's see. If I don't know, see Master keeps going, he's setting fastest time for the GT3. So if Master can go an extra lap and set faster times, then it's going to be interesting.
Whiteout comes out 75% fuel put in, fresh soft tyres.
I don't think that's enough fuel.
That is not enough fuel. We can see 10 more laps from these boys.
I think Racing Green is going to have to pit I think I think H Racing Green's got this pretty well because he put the softs on, so he's ran. No, he put the supers on, so he's ran the two fastest set of tyres, and now he's got just probably the best amount of time to go with the softs, because the super softs are going to start to die off quicker.
Here he goes, then H Racing Green's going to have to go round the outside into the chicane, but gets the move done before braking into the chicane. They've got Mata up in front. He won't be too much trouble as they're going to catch him and overtake him very easily.
Let's hope it doesn't go anything like last time.
Yeah, but Jamie's going to nick a bit of slipstream from that Porsche and then slips back into the slipstream of H Racing Green towards Musané.
So what I was saying is H Racing Green has to run the softs, but the time that's left, the softs will be the better tyre, I think, because it depends. It really, really depends. I think this is still anyone's race. So Whiteout here as well, I've just realised. So we'll see if Whiteout can.
Yeah, you're always
this is why race takes true over the rest.
You're always not happy with this catching this spin on stream. But you shouldn't spin. Spin, spin, spin. Right. Matt hasn't pitted 22. Oh, that's a little bit wide out of that. What's the matter with you? Hey, where is Whiteout compared to this? 31 seconds. And these boys, the longer they go, the less fuel they have to put in. I'm sure 75% is not enough.
We'll have to wait and see. I would say my race has still got a chance if it's not, and then realised he's 4 minutes 50 behind.
Yeah, he's 4 minutes 50 behind the leader, which means he's 4 minutes behind Whiteout.
So is Matt, we can see Matt pick this out with 21.6 gap. Last time the gap was around there, Matta came out the pits.
He burnt all his fuel, did Matta. He went full guns blazing.
And set a fast time.
What's interesting, that those tyres that are on that car right now are not that worn, so you could have skipped doing tyres. I think that's what he's done. Unless it's glitched on my screen. They're only putting fuel in. They are. No tyre change for Matta. Only fuel. And that's all the fuel you can get. And it's going to be close between these two. As Matta exited the pits up through Dunlop curve. And Kyle gets the lead back. Just. So no tyre change. Which is very beneficial because those tyres were barely worn.
Even said if you changed the tyres, the stop time wouldn't have changed that much, would it?
Nah, I don't know. I think they refueled the car after they changed the tyres.
So it might have been a little bit further back, but we'll see if keeping these tyres on will benefit him, or if it'll put a little bit further back come the end of the race.
The car's got a lot less fuel. It's got like 3/4 of a tank, and Matt's got a whole tank.
Oh, my racer goes for a spin on the start finish straight.
Yep, again.
Gap out in front of Jamie's dropped back, so Jamie, I think, definitely has to pit, so we'll see how quick he can be.
Kyle was getting rid of his penalty, and Matt thought, you know what, if Kyle's going to do it, I might as well do it as well.
Got two interesting battles going on there on the track.
Yeah. Battle for the lead for both. Wait. No.
Battle for the leads.
Slipstream is benefiting on Matt's car, and he's gaining. Kyle covers the outside. He's going to squeeze him on the inside. The outside is the racing line. Matt on the inside is the chicane. And that could be job done. Kyle trying to stick it there. He's got the inside into the next corner. Matta gets the move done. but gets the poorer exit, so this could give Kyle an opportunity. And they're going to run side by side once again. And the Aston Martin is through.
And pulling away for that matter.
Yeah, they've probably been using a bit more fuel.
Which Mata knows. I think Mata knows that he's got more fuel in the long run. Advantage later.
H Racing Green in the pits. Jamie stays out. H Racing Green was low on fuel anyway.
Jamie can't go too far.
Jamie's got one more lap. He'll do this lap for as far as he can. As quickly as he can, should I say. Not as far.
So H Racing Green has to put the softs on, I believe, unless
how long is that? 28 minutes, 3 minute 20 lap times. Do the maths, times up by 3, that's 10 minutes for 3 laps.
I think mandatory he
8
has
laps.
to put the softs on.
8 laps?
Yeah, I think
8,
we'll
9
do that,
laps?
8 more.
That's a lot of fuel. Is he going all the way? Whiteout is through. No, he's not. The hell?
No, he's not. That was the game.
Oh, the
game
game's breaking.
confused.
Don't do that to me,
So
game.
full
Soft
tank
tyres,
fuel on the softs. Jamie Demand will do the same with super soft tyres on, so this could be interesting. And 9.2 second penalty as well.
That's a lot of penalty to get rid of. With Whiteout, let's have a little look at Whiteout's fuel. Half a tank left. And there's still... Oh, he's going to have to pit again. I'm sure he'll have to pit again.
Both Moderator and Whiteout will have to pit again.
Kyle and Manor still really close as he comes through the Corvette curves towards the Ford chicane. Nothing to separate these two.
Really racing.
And when you're the only two on track in your tier, you might as well just have a little battle. Make it entertaining for us.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
Interesting being out to 9.7 seconds worth of penalties. Oh, I just realised when I went to the shop I didn't buy anything this week. ~8. 26 minutes to go. Matter back in front of Kyle to show whether that was always the case. Kyle now in the slipstream towards the chicane. Matter hangs on for now.
Fuel, I think Kyle's fuel is insufficient.
I would say there's about a quarter of a tank difference. I think that's a glitch. There's a little bit of a glitch because Kyle's car was not accelerating.
Quarter of a tank difference matters. Left rear tyre especially has got a bit of wear on it. So it's going to be interesting to see how long you keep their tyres alive for.
Side by side in the chicane.
As Jamie now pits.
Matter hangs on. Oh, massive slide from Kyle on the exit of the chicane. But keeps it in check and keeps it in the slipstream. Some might say it didn't look like it was a bit of a dodgy slide because he's now pushing for the outside.
No, Racing Green.
Jamie's in.
Why?
Jamie's
Past
out.
Jamie. Jamie's out massively.
Yeah, he didn't put 100% worth of fuel in. Put about 7/8 and he's come out 4 seconds in front of H Racing Green. And
So
he's on the
can H
softer
Racing
tyres.
Green on a slower tyre catch Jamie? Get a 9-second advantage. I think this is like you say, advantage Jamie.
Yeah. Softer
And
tyres,
Whiteout still low to
less
stay
fuel.
within that 4
Well, I say
seconds.
less fuel, it's very close between fuel between both of them. Whiteout is pitting again, so that puts a little bit of pressure off of H Racing Green's shoulders, trying to get rid of that penalty, because it won't matter too much. The gap might be 3.7 behind, but Whiteout will have to pit again. Get to the end with that amount of fuel in his car. Between Kyle and Mata though, game on.
Game on indeed. So, with just over 20 minutes to go, that's Carl gone very well. Mata slips down the inside through the push curves. That was very nice driving indeed from Mata. Unfortunately, mistake from Kyle, but Carl's now got a little bit more work to do to back up to and past I love the Mata. Mata with a significant amount of fuel as well, so oh, his Mata goes into a
That's a
spin.
nice little slide. Does he keep it? He's off to the gravel. Will Kyle wait up for him to keep this battle going? You'd hope so. Please. Please, Kyle. We want to see a battle. Doesn't look like
The
it.
gap out in front is 4.2. I honestly Whiteout was caught up a little bit, so there's potential for him to catch H Racing Green. We'll see if he can get closer through this final sector to save fuel.
Yeah. If I was in Kyle's shoes, yeah, I would do the same. Safety barrier for fuel, because he's got less than Mata. Like I said, by quarter of a tank is quite a lot of fuel.
Yeah, excuse me.
To be fair, we saw how quickly H Racing Green caught up to the back of Jamie. Now the shoe is on the other foot. The tyres are on the other car. The advantage is in Jamie's hand. Unless Jamie makes a drastic mistake.
You see, Jamie and H Racing Green's gap is staying similar, but Whiteout can gain at least 2 seconds on the whole straight alone. So if Whiteout could nail that final sector, I've been saying it for a while. If he nails that final sector, H Racing Green makes a mistake. Whiteout is still on for a P2.
Just something I've noticed. Oh, I know why. It was an out map. I was wondering why the lap time on the right hand side said 3 minutes 17 for Jamie, and then I realised it's probably an out lap. Because it hasn't come up on the bottom left versus H Racing Green 3 minutes 19. That's a good lap time, guys. And he set that, funny enough, he set that 3 minute 19 the lap before he pit. So he went all guns blazing. All guns blazing the lap before he pit.
Because he knew he needed to go, absolutely go for it, get the best outcome. But you see, Whiteout is just gaining. Unfortunately, he's a significant amount behind. He's not fast enough, or not close enough to try to get past them. But Jamie and Racing Green just aren't. That gap's not coming down enough, and that's when Carl's gap's increased. So I wouldn't be shocked if this was how we finished.
Mata has now somehow managed to bag himself 5.4 seconds worth of penalties as well. What's the fuel situation like? I think Kyle will now be sitting pretty. half a tank of fuel with 20 minutes to go. It's not unreasonable. Tyres don't look too bad. Mata should easily go to the end. I don't know how the tyres are feeling, as he runs extremely wide to the exit of the Corvette curves. And the gap between Jamie and H Green is not coming down.
Why Racer does it for the heated strips and puts us in for a step of tyres. You can only assume he's putting the super socks on. No fuel necessary. The fuel's going in anyway. So shifts on that car to chase our car, so he clearly doesn't think Kyle has enough fuel to finish it. He might be right. But Kyle is setting his best times, so to speak. This battle could get even more interesting, but Matty does have 6 seconds of penalties, just about. Now TJ has got Master in front of him. Gets past loads of AEC Racing Green. He's got Wire Racer in front of him as well. Wire Racer's got to get out of the road because he's got Colin Blue flag work in the same way. Wire Racer slows down behind Master, so Wire Racer's going to let H Racing Green through, we'd hope. As he overtakes Mr. Matter. Is he going to go for on this way? Helping Hatris and Green significantly, you think? Is he going to get out of the way then? At this second chicane, Lawrence still not out of the way. Hatris and Green won't best impressed. But if the slip true is more beneficial than what Dirty Air gives, then his racing green won't be 2. Whiteout is gaining more and more, though he's 2.1 now. He's just under 2 seconds now, so this is becoming more and more interesting. We don't get between Matter and Kyle to 7 seconds. Is Kyle going to have to bid again? Just over a quarter, only about a third of his fuel left. I think we'll see Kyle bid again, so it's going to be interesting there. Still setting fast in lap times. So Wire Racers, even though there's a few laps down, still on the back of these racing Green, giving him something to work for. Whiteout using the slipstream, in fact, setting purple.
Jamie's lost a bit of time. The gap's
Jamie
now
indeed,
down
but
to
we've seen Wire Racer giving a slipstream to Whiteout, when we saw him give it to H-Racing Green as well.
I think you need to find a new word, Whiskey, because the word interesting is very interesting.
This race could be ecstatically exciting and brilliant come end of the race. Interesting.
Now, for under 4 seconds now, the gap between H Racing Green and Jamie. Jamie probably doesn't know that H Racing Green has. Ooh, that's an interesting line to the final forward chicane. That could be a quarter cut.
Apex Whiteout comes into the pit, so he's run out of fuel.
We said he'd need to pit. We said he'd underfueled it, and he has run out of fuel.
So that's unfortunate for him because he was on the back of a potential
P2.
So that
both Apex drivers into the pits.
all by is a massive slide.
Matter's coming into the final forward chicane, and Kyle is still in the pits.
I think Matter.
Kyle's coming out of the pits. Super tyres. Where are these drivers going to be? And Kyle's through. Is he? Yeah, close to.
Kyle's giving himself significant laugh, but there's still spots. No, they're not. No, that's the wrong car. That put me off. That really put me off. It looks like it's put Master off as well. But Master has less fuel, but enough fuel, whereas a full tank car. So this is going to be interesting to see if Master can close that gap down, especially although Whiteout, the other LT driver, coming through. Oh, Kyle goes in his way. Look at two major
no
there.
Communication there between the two of them.
It's going to bring Matter into it, I assume. No, we both are similarly still in pace, but the slipstream will come into play in about 5 10 time. So you'd imagine for the just after the second chicane.
They're both on the same tyres. Matter's got less fuel, but Kyle can burn more fuel throughout the lap.
Matter trying to get rid of some of that penalty.
Bloody hell, he's got so when did he get 7.4 seconds with penalties?
I think it was before he came into the pits. I'm not sure quite
he had 5.4, but now he's got 7.4. And he's now within a second of Kyle.
Racing Green still has 9.6 seconds worth of penalties.
Oh my god, he's catching up drastically. Kyle must be fuel saving, but why would you be fuel saving when you've got plenty to go to the end? This gap is closing. But he's starting to lose a little bit of that time penalty. Is Matter, which is actually the best place to do it, I think, is going into the braking zone of the corner just before lifting off and slowing yourself down.
He can afford to brake earlier because the slipstream will put. Look, he's doing it now. He's slowing down now because he knows the slipstream will put him along. He's got 12 minutes to bring that penalty down, as well as staying in the slipstream.
This could work. Down to 5.1.
So if we can get rid of 2 seconds a lap, if not more, because we're coming into the twisty part of the track, he's going to get rid of this penalty within a couple of laps.
On and off. It's going on and off the throttle. I'm just watching his throttle input, and it's not full throttle. It's going on and off quite significantly, and the slipstream is, as you said, dragging him along. That's now down to 4.2.
See, I'm just watching Kyle. Sometimes it looks like Kyle just isn't accelerating, but this slipstream just keeping him in it. I think Kyle wants a race.
Kyle is in full acceleration mode. Matter's full.
I think Kyle does want a race.
Matter's lifting off a little bit. Kyle is going full throttle. Matter's some points are lifting off.
I think Kyle wants a race. As much as it obviously looks like Kyle's full throttling it, Kyle is
full throttling it, and Matter's not full throttling. He's doing little tiny inputs of throttle, which is enough to keep him there.
Just amazes me though that he can do that and still stay at the end.
We're coming into the final 11 minutes of this endurance race. Jamie still leads from H Racing Green. The gap is 4 seconds, but 9.5 seconds worth of penalties from H Racing Green, and he's now trying to get rid of them. He's getting rid of all of those penalties as H Racing Green, and they are gone.
Interesting.
He had enough gap to white out, so it was worthwhile to get rid of the penalties there and then.
So Matter's penalties come down to 3.1.
2.5.
Look how much he's lifting off, and yet he's still not dropped that far back.
He's found a tactic. You don't have to lift all the way off for the penalty to go down. You can put a little bit of input in onto the accelerator to keep the speed, but it makes it look like you're actually slowing down and will reduce the penalty.
And it must be quite easy to do with his Fanatec pedal, because his Fanatec pedals must be so sensitive that he must just be able to just get it perfectly right.
Who's left? Oh,
Super joined instead, but
a little bit late.
9 minutes. An hour and 20 minutes too late. effort. At least he can say he tried.
Yeah.
1.2 second gap there for
Yeah.
what's matter.
And he's now lifting into the braking zone of the first chicane. This is not over
It's
yet.
also helped with his fuel as well.
It's helped with his fuel. Let's have a look at the difference. He's got half a tank. Kyle's got a lot more fuel, but that he might be able to run in a rich a lot longer, but he's got a heavier car.
It's probably worse thing for Kyle, of course. The race is barely finished.
Yeah, look how early he's lifting off into the braking zones because he knows he
There
can
we
just
go,
keep up.
So
And
the
the penalties
penalties
all
have
gone.
Provided it doesn't get any more, I think advantage matter.
Yeah, indeed.
So,
The fact that he's been able to keep up with Kyle will leave Mo losing the penalty. And here we go then. He's up the inside of Kyle on the run towards Mulsaney or whatever you put it. I'm
Kyle
butchering
must
to
be
hell.
fuel saving because he is so slow in a
There's
straight
no point.
line.
I can't tell there's no point fuel saving. You've got 8 minutes left. You've got 2 laps left after this. There's not even two. Yeah, it'll be 2 laps after you finish this.
Yeah, he was slow in a straight line. Maybe he's turned up now, but
Literally turn it up, full blast. There's no point saving. You've got 2. I'm pretty sure that 3/4 of a tank is more than 2 laps and efficient enough for you to go full blazing.
unless he wanted to be 1 mile, so he could overtake. But I think even still, advantage matter because
Lighter car.
yeah, the last car. I know the Porsche is quite nimble through the twisty bits.
The twisty bits, yeah.
Especially through the
car gets a little bit out of
curves.
shape on the exit of that corner, but Matter is not there to take advantage.
I think Matter gave him a little bit of a nudge. If I'm
Luckily,
mistaken.
no contact penalty for Matter there.
Gonna get interesting.
More racer looks like he's having fun onto the Dunlop curves. And then the S's.
This battle still only wants to win then. So Jamie still has that penalty, but the 13.5 second gap, don't think that's a big issue anyway. It's only a 1.1 second penalty, so this looks like it's Jamie's for the taking, unless a big incident, mistake, or anything of the sort occurs.
Oh, Matter is right on the gearbox of Carlos. They run towards the S's. That's super leaves. Yep, cheers for coming and cheers for leaving.
The top 3 LMP1 cars all have roughly a quarter of their fuel left, so they will time out relatively well, apart from obviously Whiteout to make that extra stop. To Race's legally on the straights. We switch back to GT3 action.
Matter is going alongside Kyle on the run down towards the first chicane. Matter's going to have to do it up the inside. Kyle's going to have to defend for the outside. Later to the brakes is Kyle compared to Matter and keeps the position this time around. I think Matter might get a better exit. Back in the slipstream he goes. He's a second up on the Delta on his previous best. So he's going all guns blazing in these final couple of laps. I would say 2 laps to go. Matter pulls to the left. Kyle defends to the right. Matter would have the inside towards the chicane. Oh, there's nearly contact between the 2 of them. As in the straight line speed of that, Aston Martin's keeping him in front once again towards the braking zone of the second chicane. And Whiteout, Kyle hangs on again. Matter gets the better exit once again. 1.5 seconds up on his best lap time. And I don't think it's raining, Kyle, but you got the window wipers on. Maybe because of the sweat dripping off yourself is somehow coming onto your own windscreen. Matter's going to have the inside into the next couple of corners. And there's contact between the 2 of them, isn't there? Matter's still up the inside. Kyle goes around the outside. Beautifully defended right there. I thought he would have been a little bit being that late on the brakes, I thought he might have ran a little bit wide, but keeps clean.
Looks like we're going to see a
position.
last lap battle then between the GT3 cars. Unless Matt's going to make a move here towards the final section of the track.
There'll be one more lap.
Guns blazing. No, he's going to stick behind central thing because he knows the fighter on full. As we see Jamie cruising, he'll get at least one more lap in after this one.
He is cruising. Every single person will have one more lap.
There was very nearly contact there between Master and Kyle. Just about got it stopped in Master, but that means he was in the back foot with the exit speed. It's going to be interesting. What will Matter do is look to the outside.
We don't want to go side by side towards the push curves. So Matter respectively holds back for now. There's plenty of overtaking spots on this track, and we don't recommend that push curves is one of them. Oh, clips a little bit of the wall, trying to carry as much speed as he can towards the Corvette curves, and it's still right on the back of car. Was a little bit wide. Hopefully that's not a penalty. We know how Matter can get rid of penalties, but not getting a penalty in this stage is going to be so crucial. Here we go then. These boys are going to be starting their final lap. This will be it then for these guys. Where's Jamie on track? He will have one more based on lap time. H-Racing Green will have one more. Whiteout will have one more. This will be the last lap for Y-Racer. And these two are on their final lap. We'll stay on board then with the GT3s. I'm going to keep an eye out as well. I think these boys are going to be crossing the line before Jamie does. They will. So these boys will cross the line first, I think, based on time. And Matter has a half-a second penalty. Not what he wants on this final lap. We know he can get... I don't think
that'll affect him too much though, because we've seen what he could do with his penalties. He could get rid of it now and still catch up, but is he going to go for it down the first part of the stroke before the first chicane and then get rid of his penalty? There's only one way to find out.
I think he'll try and get rid of it going into this chicane, and then leave himself to attack into the either next chicane or the corners after, because he's getting in front of this. Yeah, there he goes. He's starting to get rid of it,
and it's gone.
It's almost gone. He needs to get rid of that little slither. That's the first chicane done. It says plus 0.0 on my screen.
Yeah, it's gone. It's pretty much gone anyway then. So here comes then second longest part of this track.
Yeah, he's now going to get rid of it. It's all gone now. We're going to go racing for the final half of this lap between the two, as long as Matter or Kyle don't get any penalties. This is going to go all the way to the finish. 45 seconds left. Everyone is on their final lap.
Pretty much now. You'd think either into this next corner, which I'd let you pronounce because I ain't even going to try it, or just afterwards.
Mulsanne, into Mulsanne.
There you go.
That's what it's called. I've probably butchered it the 6,000th time today, but here we go then. Matter doesn't know which side to go. Kyle is sticking his car right down the middle of the track. Matter holds back for now. Both of them onto the brakes perfectly. No contact between the two of them, and Matter loses the rear on the exit of the fire of that corner. That could be game over with 5 seconds left in this session to go. Y-Racer is going to be our first driver to cross the line. He's coming up towards the Ford curves. He's going to come home in 4th place. And what we thought was going to be a grandstand finish between the GT3 has ended in absolute tears as Y-Racer crosses the line through the gravel, finishes in 4th. Kyle's going to come home in 1st for the GT3s after battling all the way between the Porsche of Matter, and it came to the final lap.
Matter will be absolutely furious with himself because he knew he could have got that.
He knows indeed that he could have easily taken that. We are going to ride on board with Kyle, but we've got Jamie right behind the both of them, and with the speed and the overspeed that this LMP1 can take, he gets around Batter. Gets around Batter. and he could catch Kyle.
They're both going to finish at similar times, you'd assume.
Yeah.
You think Kyle will finish ahead, but you just don't know because the LMP1 is so quick.
We'll stay on Bobby Kyle then, because he's going to be coming through. No, this is going to be very bloody close. We're going to have to probably announce both winners. Kyle runs very wide off the track. Here comes Jamie then. We're going to go on board. Does he go for a late dart? Oh,
There
Kyle
he
lets him
goes.
through. We'll
So
stay on board with
winner-
Jamie then. Go, go, go.
The LMP1s.
Highlighted Jamie comes around the final corner through the Ford chicanes to win
Well,
Le Mans
Kyle-
in style. Kyle takes the
Kyle-
victory in the Aston Martin for the GT3s. Matter
That's in a respectable second.
a respectable
All the
second,
way
but
to the last lap.
and then
With
H Racing Green, yeah, and then
ART Whiteout.
I'm gonna wait for Whiteout as he comes through the Ford chicane for the final time. To say he was battling right at the start between himself, H Racing Green and Jamie. Some excellent battles throughout. He comes across the line to finish third.
That extra pit stop, I think Whiteout could have been on the second step, but obviously his strategy just didn't quite work out for him.
Did not
There.
indeed.
So this has been Apex Endurance Championship then, with your winner or winners of Jamie and Kyle. Any final words from Mr. Nyson?
Yeah, congratulations to our two winners, and a huge thank you for Kyle and Matter to keeping it going all the way through to the end. It's been an absolute pleasure. And shut up, Dan. I'm muting you. Bye. And I don't know where we are next week, but I'm sure you'll be able to find out as we go racing once again. Who would you say is your final driver of the day out of everyone?
I'd have to give it to either ILRT Matter
Ooh.
or Jamie, because I gave it to Jamie last week, so I will give it to Matter, because Matter's kept it consistent. He knew maybe he didn't have the car to put up such a good fight that he did, so I will give it to Matter.
Excellent stuff. So we're going to round this out. I have been Speed Knighton, TGIP, however you want to call me. Risky Race has been Optimus Prime for this little stream. we will speak to you next week.